friends. I seem to be losing a little bit of steam now that I am kind of a little bit over halfway through my trip, mostly because I am in a lot of pain. My lower legs tend to get really tight if I walk too much, and then I have like pretty severe pain in my feet. Actually, that's the reason, I don't know if I ever mentioned, that's kind of the reason why I prefer to travel alone, is because I know like the limits of my abilities. Like I know that, you know, like I can't walk as far or as fast as some of my friends do, and I felt like in past trips that, you know, like I was kind of slowing the group down, or that like people were getting annoyed that I couldn't keep up and things like that, and I was kind of like, well, I like to do things my way, and I also think some people could use some empathy in terms of like, okay, maybe you are super fit and whatever, but not everyone can run upstairs at, you know, 50 kilometers an hour, whatever. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on to complaining. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've been thinking a little bit more about access and ability on this trip than previously. Like I mentioned, like I've had these thoughts about like not being able to keep up or walk as fast, blah blah blah, but actually on this trip, because I have an injury right now, so I have a slipped disc in my back, so if I sit for too long or if I put too much pressure on my back, like I have severe pain. So usually it takes me quite a few hours, like in the morning, to kind of settle into it, and then it's okay once I'm standing, but if I sit down again it kind of so and then on top of that, because I'm not used to walking so much, now I have like a lot of pain in my feet. So today I was trying to be a little bit more kind to myself, and on top of that I am, so this is now a lot of information for the internet, but every month when I ovulate, I get pretty severe pain in my side, like very sharp pain, to the extent that sometimes I can't get out of bed. So my tracker has told me that it is expected for the next couple of days, so I'm trying to be a little bit gentler, even though I want to see everything. It's not very realistic, and it's also a good reason to come back. So that was the reason I decided to, you know, not make myself leave so early from Perth this morning. I think I left around 10 o'clock, and then I decided to cut out Pitlochry because I wasn't as excited for it, and also I knew I couldn't walk as far as I initially thought, because right now every single step is a sharp pain. So I'm trying to, you know, be a little bit gentler. So I ended up going to Aviemore directly. I had lunch there, which was wonderful, and then I just did a very quick, like 45-minute walk to the little lake block, instead of the full hike that would have taken me to a beautiful view. You know, it is what it is. Of course I would have loved to see the view from the top, but it wasn't gonna happen today, and doesn't mean that I won't get a chance to see it at some other point. So no regrets on that, especially because I feel pretty good right now and not like I am dying. And then I came to Inverness a little bit earlier than expected. I think I was planning on arriving at 7. Instead, I got on a bus at 3 and got here around 4, which actually was wonderful because it gave me a few hours to walk around Inverness, and I really, really love it here. It's really beautiful. And yeah, I'm actually thinking tomorrow, instead of rushing to get out of the city to go to Fort William, which I'm not super excited about either, because a lot of the activities there involve like hiking and, you know, lots of walking. So I'm thinking maybe instead I'm going to just rebook the tickets or just buy new tickets and go instead in the afternoon, or I'm still trying to figure this out, or maybe alternatively I'm going to keep those tickets and go to Fort Augustus instead and take a boat tour of Loch Ness, and then take the bus to Fort William to stay there for the night, because we passed through Fort William and it was kind of pretty small, and I don't think I'm up for the outdoorsy and hiking stuff right now, so it doesn't seem like there's a point of going. And I do like boat tours, so I'm trying to figure it out. The bus tickets I have right now I think are on the route, so it would stop in Fort Augustus anyway, so maybe if I keep the tickets and get off a little bit earlier and then just book tickets to continue. Yeah, you know what, I've talked myself into it. So anyway, also further to, and I was thinking a lot about access. I kind of got away from the point. Related to, I've noticed, because I have an injury right now, I've noticed that a lot of the places that I'm staying are not very accessible at all. Not like, although I complain a lot about the stairs, but that's a big thing, because I think every single place I stayed were only accessible by stairs, so there was no way for anybody who had mobility issues to be able to go to the apartment that I was staying at, any of them. And then once you were in there, like, a lot of the bathrooms were not, like, because right now I can't really bend over very far, but the bathtubs are high, and so you would have to like kind of swing your leg over, but because you have to swing your leg so high up, the railings were, so you would have to lean down anyway. So I've had some trouble with that. I mean, figured it out, but you know, I'm just thinking about that as like, you know, considering these are hotels and things like that, which are popular for, you know, the tourist season, it seems like it's fairly limited in terms of who gets to enjoy those spaces. So just something I've been thinking about. That's pretty much it. I'm just having some tea and some snacks in my B&B now. This is actually one of the nicest places I've stayed at. It's really pretty, but you know, I'm kind of out of energy in terms of wandering around, and it's, excuse me, dark out already anyway, so I am, as I said, trying to be a little bit kinder to myself, so I'm just sitting in my bed and doing some knitting, so I have more time to recover for tomorrow. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm also lugging around all of my luggage with me as I'm traveling, so I should plan that a little bit better. So, you know, in the future, instead of trying to do a different city every day, I should do like 2 nights, or at least 1 night. No, at least 2 nights, so that I have some time, you know, where I can put the bag down and kind of be able to walk around properly, instead of having to lug all my stuff around all day and then kind of being more tired and grumpy and not wanting to do, and having to cut out parts because of that. Yeah, that is that. It was a wonderful day though. I really love the little town of Aviemore, and I'm loving Inverness. All of these places I've been thinking like, oh, I would love to live there, so Inverness is definitely one of them. Yeah, definitely not going to be my only time in Scotland. I'm really loving it so far. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.